All right, today we're going to start off with creating a drawing using the grid method. With your grid method, you have a few things to get you started, and we have the paper template, and this is going to be reused throughout the day. You have your project paper. The project paper should fit directly inside of that square. You're also going to need a ruler today. So to begin with, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be starting off with creating a grid on your project paper. For your grid, you're just going to take, and there's not really any measurements, but you are needing to take and draw your grid lines on here today. So with your grid lines, I'm going to show you a couple of things about how to make nice straight lines. What I see a lot of people doing is I see people using a ruler, and then as they draw, the ruler moves on them. So what I'd like you to do is, as you are drawing with your ruler, line it up on both ends so that you get your grid. Now what you are going to do is go ahead and take your hand, you can't see it, go ahead and take your hand, and you're going to be holding it down in two places. So instead of holding it in just one place where it's going to move around on you, make sure and hold it down into two places. Something else on here is making sure that you are drawing nice and lightly. This grid that we're going to be using for your drawing is a beginning tool. It's not something that we want to have in the final part of your project. So make sure and draw super, super light so that you're going to be able to erase this grid. Once again, this is a method so that you can draw something accurately that you'd like to, that has some detail to it. Anytime, this really works well whenever you want to enlarge something. So here's my grid, and you can take your grid, the paper template, somebody else will use that. Next, what we have is I have lots of silhouette drawing projects for you to choose from. So most of them are nature. These are going to be any one that you want, and what you're going to find here, I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here. So I've got some fish, and with this one it's going to be like we are looking down inside a pond here. All right, so what I have is this one right here is going to be represented by this square. So this square and this square are exactly the same. So if I see that nothing is done in this square, that's fantastic. I can skip to the next one. So this one right over here is going to be represented by this square right here. So what I'm going to be able to see is that my fish comes in about halfway through the grid, and then it comes out the other side right here. So I'm going to know that this is all located, this whole part of the fish right here is located on the second one over. So I'm going to go ahead and be able to draw anything that I see inside that square is what I'm going to be drawing inside that square. Next, what I see is that there's a little bit, it dips down. You see this little V right here, it dips down and then goes back out. So I'm going to go ahead and make my dip in and out. So once again, this is fantastic. Anytime that you want to enlarge something, if you're wanting to make something much larger, this is a really good way to make it larger and make it very accurate with your proportions. All right, so go ahead and continue and enjoy grid drawing.